will he see the field in the opening game? It's your classic nuclear option. Like, just all in. I'm starting to think that he's not going to be out there. I really don't think we're just, guys, we're so close to the game, and we don't really know what kind of shape he's in. I mean, if he did show up, and I keep thinking about one of the sound bites that came from the Jones family about we're not going to sacrifice the long-term future of this team. They're like, we know he's great. We know Zeke. We know Tony Pollard is not Zeke. There's no mystery there. We also know we have a lot of young players. We think we want to be good 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now. And if we say, well, screw it, we blinked, let's just pay Zeke whatever he wants to get him out there, that's going to lose games for them in 2020, 2021. I think the Cowboys are hashtag dug in. And if Zeke doesn't want to take the deal, then you can stay in Mexico. We're going to go to the field with Tony Pollard.
I'm starting to think that Zeke sitting out, it would have to take him sitting out and them struggling to get this deal done. But I like hearing the optimism that
I
it might
think so.
get done before week one.
My tune has changed on this in the last couple of days, just knowing how close the season is.
Yeah.
I would think if I'm Ezekiel Elliott and they offer me north of Le'Veon Bell, which is, say, around 14, but south of Todd Gurley, you have to, I mean, whether or not you're the highest paid at this point,
Right.
2 years left on your contract, I think you have to accept that.
But if you're in a contract negotiation, this is to all of you, you guys have all been in contract negotiations, and you already feel like you're not valued enough, and you already, like, one side's insulted, the other side's insulted. At what point does pride come into play with an NFL player who thinks he's the best, who's comparing himself to Emmitt Smith in Maxim articles, where you let that interfere, where you let hearing those sort of comments, Zeke out of Jerry, prevent a deal from happening? That's more of why I'm thinking it's not going to happen, because I think at some point, and you can tell that Jerry Jones has some feelings about this as well. There's emotions involved here and pride.
The better question is, when doesn't pride come into play? This is the NFL, and you're dealing with men. We are egotistical maniacs, and every guy is attached to his dollar with his hand on his pocket, trying to figure out how to better themselves. And it starts with the owners who run these teams like they run businesses. It starts with the players who want to get every red cent that they're deserved. So you're looking at two sides of sitting back saying, no, that's my money, Jerry Jones. No, that's my money, Ezekiel Elliott. And now they're trying to figure out where the split is. That's where the difficulty comes in.
But doesn't the pride also kick in at some point when you're suspended for 6 games and you're sitting at home and you're trying to be a professional and you want the Cowboys? I mean, where's the pride there? And then the second question is, how about the pride of the franchise quarterback who's sitting there like, hello? Anybody home? I'm Dak Prescott. I don't have a contract either, and we're whining to Zeke about in some magazine about he hasn't been paid.
Right.
What if Zeke does get it? Listen, if Zeke gets a deal this afternoon. Dak's gonna be like, pie, like, I'm the guy. I'm the pie maker. What the hell's going on here? So I can't see him giving Zeke a big offer before Dak. I think he's going to miss games, and it comes right from Maxim Magazine. Lacey Chabert.
Do you think it's Lacey Chabert?
That's the homegirl. That's
mean
it.
Girls, toaster strudel, love it. Do you think it's just a business decision for both sides, or from Zeke?
No.
It's complete. Like we've gone way past that. That's why I think it'll be dragged out.
I do too. And listen, I don't want to keep dragging up off the field stuff. I don't relish in it. But if you're investing in Zeke for this next several years, dude, I'm not even sure we can necessarily trust you. There's been several incidents here, and if there's another one that screws us.
So Schrags thinks he's out there week 1. You guys think what, week 2, week 3, or when they're struggling, or what's your best guess?
It's the ultimate theater. It depends on what happens in the games. History repeats itself. The Cowboys could do nothing without Emmitt. And by the way, that Cowboys team without Emmitt was a reigning Super Bowl champion who was way better than this team. And they folded. So if Zeke sits out, the ultimate theater is Giants-Cowboys week 1 because it reverberates everywhere.
I'll add another layer to this, and we haven't talked about this at all, just because we assume that Ezekiel Elliott is in Cabo training and he's in great shape.
That's what we hear.
Come up and pick up the playbook. Listen, he's been out a few weeks now, and they have a new offensive coordinator named Kellen Moore. And I can tell you from firsthand perspective, there's a lot that you learn and a lot that is put in the playbook in preseason. So if you're sitting back, Ezekiel Elliott saying, oh, man, when I get back, they're going to hand me the rock. I'm going to catch up the backfield. We're one of the best screen teams in the business. I'll be good. But what about the 15 to 25, maybe 30 plays that Kellen Moore put in and said, this is what we're doing, and this is how I need you to run these plays? That's something else we're not talking about. It might not be smooth sailing even if he does show up.
Okay, you mentioned negotiations. Sometimes they get personal, all this stuff. That's why they hire agents. Yeah. And this is where the agent has to make his money and say, hey, this is a good deal on the table. We should accept it.
Let's fall on the sword.
Or the agent says, let's dig our heels in. You know, last year, Adisa Bakari was Le'Veon Bell's agent and said, let's go for this. Let's dig our heels in. I will advise you to do that, because he was an unfettered free agent at the end of the year. Ezekiel Elliott has no out. He's got 2 more years and the franchise tag.
Doesn't make sense. He should get in there.
Rocky Arsenault's down there with him in Cabo right now. Marshall Faulk is training him. It's a whole to do. Someone think about this long term and say, hey, maybe we accept a deal if it's sensible, or let's just report to camp and earn that money.
Well said. Tony Express until then.
Yeah.
That's it. If he's good,
Tony Pollard
it might be a wrap.